How's it going, Scorpio community? Now you know what is a soul tigress with a story for this wonderful frequency. First off, thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience as I navigate between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now, keep in mind that this is a safe and sacred space where we call in your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come in, to be the guides and protectors of all the positive messages that are to come out. Now, with that being said, keep in mind that this here is not love tarot. This channel is a channel where we explore self-empowerment. What that means is building the stepping stones for us to get closer to our soul being, which helps align us with a higher power. So let's go ahead and get started with what's going on for the vibe for Scorpio frequency. Now, it was a lot of going back and forth when I started to open up to exploring what's going on in this energy. I definitely have felt a barrage of different emotions that have been happening all within just a few minutes of each other. What stands out is irritability, nervousness, and it's just an emotional roller coaster ride for the Scorpio in this story. Feeling blocked from having more, like life is giving them no choice. Because this last new moon and the recent full moon are actually influencing these energies, I believe. So don't forget to go ahead and check out my new moon, full moon interpretation to get a more in-depth view on how this past that we've been reflecting on, that's been, increasing that emotional roller coaster ride for a longer duration, those higher climbs, but also those scary falls that we've been having this month. Now, helping yourself sift through all these emotions could be the clarity in how things have been, how they came about. To be the tamer of your emotions, Scorpio, you need to be open to a different way of processing them, a different way of looking at them, a different way of feeling about how you feel, because sometimes we get upset at the way we feel. Ooh, I've been guilty of that one. I'll tell you what. Emotions can be fed. And these emotions, they can be fed by a lot of different things. And one of the last things that I pick up for Scorpio is there's just some sense for them that they are running out of time. Or maybe they've spent too much time doing something and now they feel like they've wasted so much time. I'm not sure. I think that was kind of happening with Taurus, our first one. Scorpio, you're number 2. So maybe this is why y'all are up at the front of the bus here trying to figure out what's going on. Maybe y'all just need some clarification for something. I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and get everything started with the introduction for the Scorpio community. Angels, ancestors, what is it that needs to come out? All right, so first card we're not seeing is impartiality. Something that we want balanced out. Something that maybe we want to carry around evenly with us. Not bearing one weight more than the other when it comes to one side versus the other. Now that has to do with our crown chakra. Our crown chakra is unity of consciousness, inner wisdom, spiritual connection, and enlightenment. And when it's out of balance, we get disconnection, confusion, lack of purpose, and depression. Let's go ahead and see what else needs to come out. Oh, 2 more cards we're not seeing. Something that has to do with trickery. Maybe it had to do with something that we were praying for at one time. Maybe something that we were enduring, trying to make the best of it. This trickery really, really pulls at the Scorpio's heart. In a sense, it could be that they feel like there's nothing there more that can happen for their future. This is why even praying for it, it doesn't matter. It's almost like, we know that saying, if you have lemons, make lemonade. But here I have a Scorpio who's so tired of lemonade that they can't think of anything else that's going to help propel them forward to where they want to go. What else needs to come out? Impatience. For that throat chakra. Guilt. And that one's not being seen, and we're at odds ends with that. Like the prayer. I think this unfairness, this unfair balancedness, I think that it's definitely starting to weigh on the Scorpio. I definitely get a picture of somebody who's hunched over on one side. And it's really starting to affect them. It's starting to affect their body by having to carry too much weight on one side versus the other, they feel like. The trickery that they feel like they keep falling for the same thing over and over and over. When they try to find something that answered their prayers, or they were hoping was going to answer their prayers. This impatientness comes at, why can't it just work out the way I need it to right now? And this guilt has to do with somebody else. Somebody else. And as we mentioned that, here comes our crown chakra. This is pretty far. You try and push it pretty far from your mind. This rejection. You're confused. If I reject dealing with this anymore, then what does that make me? If I do something different and they all reject me, then where does that get me? And I was actually talking to somebody about this the other day, and I was telling them it has to start with yourself first. You have to honor how you feel, because you can be in a room full of people, and I used Nazis for an example, and they would all tell you that you're wrong for feeling how you feel and that you want things to be fair. So you have to be careful when you're considering everyone else before yourself, because you have to remember other people have their own dilemmas, their own tests, their own trials that they're dealing with. And if they're putting you in a position, that tells me they're not dealing with their own stuff. If anything, they're trying to control others to get what they want. You have to be careful. It's a slippery slope when you start to try and validate yourself through the opinions of others. Just be careful. I'm hearing one more card. What is the last card for this introduction? Alright. So that was beautiful how that came out. So yeah, you have to be careful with who you're surrounded by. Even who you're looking up to at times as well. Those people, again, if they have their own agenda, they can hold you back. They can hold back your very confidence, your personal power, your joy, self-discipline, motivation. How do they hold back your discipline? Well, if you're going against so much of yourself to appease them, then it doesn't affect you to go against things that you want to be disciplined for. And then I have perception. We need to see a different perception here. We need to pick our heads up, stand up tall to see this perception. And this perception comes from your heart, with love, compassion, harmony, emotional balance, and forgiveness. Because when we start to pick ourselves up and we start to wake up to ourselves, our truths, where we want to go, the type of people that we want around us, but the type of relationships, the way that these people treat us, it's going to change our perception. It's going to change on what we want to deal with versus what we don't want to deal with. I'll give another example really quick. I have somebody that I talk to and I love them dearly, but they make choices that I don't make in life. And I had to tell them the other day, it's nothing against you personally, but when you are dealing with you when you're intoxicated versus when you're sober, it's two different people. And I told them, I get along and I have more in common with the sober you versus the intoxicated you. And I chose to talk to them that way, opposed to trying to guilt trip them, trying to make them feel bad, because I want to, again, help create those stepping stones to see that there is two different sides to them. One is one when they're intoxicated, and the other one is their sober self. So there is always two sides of the coin here. And for the side of Scorpio, it's really seeing the side where you start to validate yourself. You start to open up your heart to the trickery, the people that were trying to make you a buffoon. I believe it is the word that I'm looking for. It's hard. It is hard. I had to tell somebody who's like, oh, I had you fooled. I had you fooled. I told them the only person that you were fooling was yourself. You can't fool me unless I let you fool me. People can't fool you. They can't trick you unless you continually let them to. Remember that, Scorpio. You have a choice. Even though you feel like you don't have a choice here, you have choices. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this present. What else needs to come out? So you've been in this muck for so long. You feel like it's your ideal. It's the only way to go. You want to unblock from it. You want to gain everything you really want at the heart quickly. But I feel like it's these others that put you out. It could be one in particular that stops that movement from happening, that charismatic movement, and they create that hectic movement in you instead. What I see is the person racing from one thing to another, to another, to another, to another. And they've been strung out so thinly that now they're kind of getting irritable with it. They want it to stop. They really want it to stop. But in a sense, they don't know how. I need a clarity card for the Two of Swords, I'm hearing. Alright, what is the clarity card for the Two of Swords in reverse? Holy moly. It's a lot. It falls onto this Ten of Cups. So first off, we have High Priestess in reverse. Emotional instability, clouded thinking, and recklessness. Overly emotionally attuned and impulsive actions will have negative consequences. Conceited, shallow personality indicates sexual enjoyment without commitment let me reread that. Indicates sexual enjoyment without commitment or feeling. Beware of deceitful, unfaithful person who appeals to another person's animal instincts. They lead people to destruction. All right, the World card in reverse. No energy, loss of momentum, goals have been forgotten. Review and set new ones. You underestimate your own abilities and lack vision. Fear of change or travel keep you from success and happiness. Too attached to your current job or residence. You are inflexible and must respond to changing circumstances. Death card in reverse. Life focuses on instinctual, sexual, animal, and base needs. Physical needs take over. Fear of financial trouble affects all your decisions. Possible loss of home, job, financial stability. Reversal of fortune. See to your own needs. Build up a reserve. Saving and insurance will help guard against disaster. Keep a reserve keep a reserve of money. The last card you're not seeing, don't want to see in a sense, is the Fool. In reverse, you're childlike in some ways. You still have much to learn. Worry and fear blocks positive action. Don't submit to others' rules and demands of conformity. You do not recognize the danger you are in. You are close to ruin with crazy decisions, reckless actions, and foolish choices. Your ideas are not sound and may lead to catastrophe. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it right now. No rash decisions. Thinking things through. Really filling out how you feel. Opening up to your heart. What else needs to come out for the present? Confused on how to walk away. And then here we have the Death card again. Confused on how to have a transformation. I feel like the Scorpio's health really influences their choices as well. Like, sometimes we can handicap ourselves due to some health things that we have happen to us, especially when it comes to things that have been around for a while. And it almost, what it does is we set a barrier to ourselves in being able to achieve anything more. What else needs to come out? What is the last card for the present? Alright, so now we have a Nine of Swords in reverse. And this Hierophant. Tradition and upright. Landing on the guilt, landing on the Ten of Cups, landing on all these clarification cards here. You don't want to break the rules. You don't want to rewrite what's already been set in stone here. No matter who's doing the trickery. What's doing the trickery? Who could have been doing the trickery? You're just really solid in how things worked out. You're really solid in only thinking about it all in the one way. But that one way still keeps you insecure when it comes to the people around you. If the people around you really see you the way that you see them, and I'm talking about in a loving sense. Let's go ahead and figure out what's going on for this block here, for this Scorpio frequency. Spirit guides, spirit guides, spirit guides. What is it that needs to come out for the block? 3 of Cups. Confused on these others. Could be confused on some of the good times you've had. But I feel like it wasn't happening as much as you like to focus in on them. Like you really focus on the top 3 memories, I would say. And that's what keeps you going on, this is my fulfillment. That tradition of, it's just the way it's always been. I've had a few good times, but I feel like you've had more bad times than good times here with whatever this is, person, place, or thing. Not knowing how to start this change. Not knowing if you're strong enough to start this change. What I hear is you're going to feel like a criminal. Like you feel like that bad if you were to do something different for yourself. I have this Page of Swords all the way over here. For some reason you feel immature. You feel very immature. Confused. This immature feeling has confused you on the other feelings that you have around this. What I'm hearing is depressing feelings that you have around this situation. Confused on how these feelings have put out some of the things that you're passionate for. What I have is deja vu come out. Feeling like no matter what, this is just what works out. It's always the way it's going to work out with close connections. I would say people not turning around to see you for who you are. See you for what your needs and what your wants are. What else needs to come out for this rejection? Yeah, look at that. Another 8 of Cups coming out. Scorpio, I feel it. I really feel how scared you are. You're scared at what's going to happen if you were to walk away. If you was to stop sipping the juice that everyone else is sipping in this community. You've bonded to some of these people here. You've bonded to this place. And it hurts to think about having a new beginning without them. Yeah. Not only do you feel like you're going to be a diva, you feel like you're going to be a selfish diva if you were to go on this journey. If you were to set yourself free, you'd be afraid of what people would say about you and all the things that you're doing. Or another interpretation is you're worried about somebody in particular. If you was to go and even think of the idea and then even talk about this idea to another, this other would act really crazy about it. This other would be combative. They would throw a lot of stuff around. You'd have to deal with them. What I get is acting snarky. Just a lot of passive aggression, not even passive aggression because we know where it's directed. Anytime you've stood up for yourself in a sense or tried to bring in some kind of idea, they've always reacted the same. It was the same tradition. It's another way to look at it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is the last card for this block here? What is the last card for the block? This is really, really filled when you think about walking away here. Scorpio here is hung up on the belief that they can't, that it's incapable. They're incapable of doing it somehow. They're incapable of setting themselves free. They've entangled so much of their heart, so much of who they are into this. They don't know if setting themselves free would do more damage to them or if it would help them. Oh my goodness, Scorpio. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. If you really are that deep in the sauce, this tells me that you've been in this situation with this person, place, or thing, or people, I should say, communities, for quite a while. This is something that you definitely could have grew up in, looking up to others about how to handle things, how to deal with things, and even following some of that same tradition yourself. This could be somewhere where you've been in a workplace for so long and you've had a specific manager, you've had a specific boss that you've looked up to when you first got there. And through time, for both of those situations, what it is you know what's happening, but you're not saying. If somebody's coming in trying to give you a pity kind of thing so that they can have you cover their shift, you know that it's nothing going on with their grandma or their dog or anything. You know that person's just going out to go party or go do whatever they want, but you're still dealing with it to be that good person to everyone. I mean, a family member could do the same, just change up the context a little. A boss can do the same, just change up the context a little. That is a hard one, especially when you're such a guardian angel for others. These others are important to you. But what should be even more important, and this is selfish. This does sound selfish. It is selfish. Is yourself. Because at the end of the day, you can't take care of everyone, everything to your utmost best if you are not taken care of. Think of all the times that you've been so worn out with dealing with this situation and you're still showing up. But how it's dragging things that you love, things that you're passionate about, away from you. Because by the time you get time to do that, you no longer have energy to do it. What is it here that keeps holding you back to it? What is it? I didn't have a Six of Cups come out, but I did have this Page of Swords. So it's something that we've been dealing with for a while, for a very long time in a sense. Maybe it's the way that we've been dealing with people for a long time. Our concept and how we deal with people. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get into the conclusion and finding some positive messages and how Scorpio can view this test, this trial right here that has some ties to their past. Divine and universal energy. What is it that needs to come out? If that is that combative person, whoever this person is in your community, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They're using the guilt. They don't want you to see that they're using the guilt because they're after you. They're after your goods. They're after what you have. They're after your time. They're after your energy. They're after only being made feel good if you're making them feel good. Ooh, I think that's an energy vampire. You got to be careful with yourself. Got to be careful. Remember, your time, your energy is your most valuable currency. Careful how you spend it. What else comes out? Oh, this is a hard no. No more. We need to say no to this gold digger because it lands right on top. We need to say no to anyone else in this community. No. You need to say no more often. And when they trying to use whatever tactics to get you to rush in, it's no. It's not the right time for me. I have something else I need to do. What else needs to come out? So I have love spell in reverse and something we're not seeing. Liar in reverse. You got to take off the love goggles here. I know it says you've been bewitched. But I don't do that spiritual warfare stuff. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, they have all this on you. The only way you're susceptible to this kind of stuff is when you're spiritually weak. And right now, maybe this gold digger, this person, this energy vampire is going to teach you how to be more spiritually strong. We don't learn how to be more stronger until we have to step up our protection. So a lot of times we will have these love goggles on for certain people, places, or things. We'll have these love goggles on and they so thick and have so much of what is that, the tint on them where you can't see, that it's blinding you to the trickery. It's blinding you to the lies. You gotta take those off. I know we find a sense of purpose when we help others. But first we gotta find that sense of purpose of being within ourselves. Honoring ourselves. Being open to we are the most valuable thing in our world. and going from there. And I say that and I make it very selfish here because sometimes you have to be selfish. I'm not saying you go throw all your responsibilities away. No, but I'm saying use a lot of discernment when it comes to sacrificing yourself for others versus you opening up to your value and taking care of yourself a little bit more. That's what I'm asking. All right, what else needs to come out? So this person told you that they was going to break bread with you. Maybe has made promises of a future with you. But it's not happening. Whatever they're promising, saying that it's going to get better, it's not. It's what they're using in a sense. They're using to keep you where you're at because this comes in reverse. Oops. Maybe there's something that you've particularly done for them. Maybe there's something there that they say, well, I need your help on. You got to help me. I don't know how to do this. Everybody has their free will, and they have the free will to learn. They have the free will to learn things that will help take care of them. Whatever this person's using, if you try, and I'm not saying that you have to trick them. No, what you do is you put something out to see what they do with it. And what they do with it will tell you where they're at in life and where their priorities are. If what they do with it doesn't help them and they don't care, then I really want you to take that into consideration, that this person doesn't want to move forward. But at the same time, this person doesn't want you to move forward either. They don't want you to get to other opportunities. They wouldn't want you to go break bread with others because that means you're no longer going to be there with them. They're not going to be able to siphon your energy, siphon your time. They could be even siphoning your resources. All right, so I have those. Let's go 2 more cards here. What are the last 2 cards? Last one here is patience. There's that time again. What this says is just a few more months. Good things come to those who wait. You really have to sit down and ask yourself, have you been patient enough with this person, with this place, with this situation? Is it time to start being impatient and start making the moves that you need to make? And having the confidence in what you're communicating, your ideas that you're communicating, the new hope of things that you want to communicate. All right, so the very last card here for the Scorpio community. There's a lot of things we're not seeing, Scorpio. What's going on? We got to open up to it. This lands on this Fool. This lands on this Death card. This lands even on this Love spell. It's time. Stop being confused. It's time. Someone is unavailable. A waste of time. It's over. I mean, it's not fun calling people out that we love and that we want to help out on their bullshit. It's not easy. But one thing about this month and the rude awakening that's coming around the 20th, it's either we got a few sides to the fence here. Either you're going to be tired of somebody's bullshit or somebody's going to be tired of your bullshit. And with the Pisces new moon coming in, that's definitely ending an old cycle to prepare for new. And then you have Aries coming in after that with the new moon, opening up to awareness. A new awareness. I mean, with the is it the Virgo full moon that's coming up next month? That one's self-examination and improvement. Right after we're going to go in and want to end some cycles. No one's saying that you have to abandon this person. But the thing is, how can you protect yourself, protect your energy? How can you understand who this person is at the core? Understand where their ambitions are in life. If their ambitions are to do more for themselves, if their ambitions are not even to do anything for themselves, this person, place, or thing. And when you open up to that, how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? I'll give you one example on a detour. I've met a few guys in my life, and one really I wouldn't even give a chance at a partnership, because this guy was telling me, I don't want to be old. I don't want to live past a certain age. And for me, it's like, well, then why even bother with you if I'm looking for a lifetime partner? This person was all about me. They really liked me. They really wanted to date me. But that comment right there always stuck with me. And it was one of the main reasons why I would tell them no. I have another person that I deal with who doesn't see much ahead for themselves. They have put it out there. So when I communicate with them, I just tell them, well, you're at where you're at because you don't want to do anything. And this is what you say about it. And it's not trying to be a smart ass. But again, the people you love, the people you deal with, you will shoulder some of their suffering. So how much of this person's baloney do you want to keep suffering for? Because if you see this person in the background, they're doing it to themselves. And they think that they're fooling you. But they're not. They're fooling themselves. But it's up to you and your free will, Scorpio. What you gonna do, boo-boos? Totally up to you. No judgment here. I know that it's hard. It's really hard when you care about people. It's really hard when they've been in your life for so long. So I'd say it's how can you balance that out? How can you know when there's time to give them some of your time and when it's time to just close that gate and say, nope, you're at a place that I can't hang out with right now. Because you do have that free will and you do have that right. All right, so this is going to conclude it. Thank you so much, Scorpio, for hanging out. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming in and helping with all these positive messages. And I hope you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.